Well, hello, welcome back. So glad that you're here today. It's really special. We have another incredible guest. Her name is Marty Pettiford. She brings energy to the industry. She brings authenticity to the industry. We really, really love people like that because it just makes co-oping worthwhile. So we're going to talk to her about a couple different things, and you'll see that it's really incredible how she has been able to move her career from being a part-time real estate practitioner to full-time, and how she started out at a corporate location, a corporate job. Okay. And she's using those skill sets that she learned. She's using that in her now thriving real estate business. So without further ado, we're going to have a great conversation. Go ahead and get your pen and pad out because you're going to want to take some notes on this one. We're going to have a great conversation with the Marty Pettiford. Let's go. Hey, Marty, welcome. How are you, girl? So glad that you're here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. Well, I want to let everyone know that Marty Pettiford is also known as Martyloveshomes. She's a realtor, and she's built her business based on authenticity, transparency, and community connection. She's approachable. She is committed to education. She's a friend of mine. She's built buyers trust, sellers trust, and we're going to have a great conversation with her about how she's begun to grow her business in such a way and show up consistently to serve her clients online and in person. So, Marty, welcome.
Thank you so much. Again, thank you for having me. I don't know, is this the second time or the first time I've been on your channel?
Yes. Well, we've done something before because I was on your channel. So, yeah, we've done some things before.
So this is my first time on your channel.
Yes, I'm so happy that you're here because, we talk all the time and, we have access to one another. So I think that I forget, like, you're such a powerful person to have. And so to have you on the channel is just really a big deal for me because I talk about you all the time. So anyone who ever meets me, they'll say, she's talking about this person named Marty.
Who's he?
So, who is he? Meanwhile, it's a woman. And she's just a really huge resource, y'all. So Marty, I like to start off with asking every person I interview about how they got into the business, because we all have a little story on how we got into the business. But can you share with us your journey into becoming a real estate practitioner full time?
So my journey kind of began out of desperation, I would say. I was really not enjoying the job that I once loved. There was a lot of things going on, and it just made the job that I was doing, I liked the job that I was doing, but I was not happy about the company and the direction that it was going. And, every time you work in a corporate environment, a corporate setting, every time you have a new, leadership change, the rules change.
Yeah.
And so that happened, and I was just like, I don't have to be a part of this. I think I kind of realized that. But then I was like, well, what am I going to do? I tried to interview for another grocery retailer too. And I was like, I don't know if that would make me happy, but at least it would get me out of this situation. But it didn't work out, probably for a good reason. And I also, was just trying to figure out what it was that I was passionate about, kind of at the same time.
Yeah.
And I wanted to create a career where I can combine passion or my hobby and make money with it. And the only thing that I could think of, hobby wise, I'm like, I don't have any hobbies. I just like going shopping and watching HGTV, and those aren't really hobbies. And then I kind of put it together. I feel like God spoke to me and said real estate. And I'm like, I could be a real estate agent. It happened in the car on my way home from work. I think I was probably crying too. When I tell you, I was desperate. I did not like the job that I was at.
Wow.
So I decided to go all in with real estate. I was like, okay. And tell my husband, he was so excited. He was like, yes, you should do it. And I was like, great. So I'm going to turn in my 2 weeks notice and we can just live off my 401k. And he was like, absolutely not, Marty.
You're like, listen, I'm out of here.
I was trying to be gone. Once I get an idea, I'm all in. But he's like, no.
I'm so glad that you decided to come into real estate. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm glad that God spoke to you. You listened. I'm so glad that you have a husband, because that's a thing right there. Having a husband, having a significant other, a spouse, a partner that is feeding your enthusiasm and telling you, yeah, you can do it, and I got you.
Yeah.
Because this is not the type of career choice that you can do if you have people against you within your household.
Yeah, it definitely is a team effort and takes a village in all aspects of my life. It kind of like
Hmm.
intertwines with real estate. So it's really
Yeah.
helpful to have other people in my world that does support it and do everything
Yeah.
they can to help.
Hmm.
So yeah, I did it. Unfortunately, I didn't just quit my job then. I had to stay a little longer. But
Yeah.
that was like I was going to do it though. What stopped me, honestly, COVID happened and we had the lockdown.
Hmm.
And then I was like, oh shoot, I definitely should stay where I'm at. Like, let me just work here. I'll still work on getting my license. And that's what I did. But then during that time I ended up getting pregnant. And what catapulted me with that, I applied for a job within my company. I didn't even get selected for an interview because it was a job that I was highly qualified for. I didn't get selected for an interview, yet alone get the job. And we were living in Savannah at the moment. And as soon as I got off the phone with my HR manager who said, hey, we went with another candidate, I told my husband, I was like, hey, you want to move back to Atlanta? Because I said, I'm not going to work down here with
I'm
these
not doing
people
this.
that
Yeah.
they like. I just felt strong along at that point, and
Mm.
I had the flexibility to transfer back to the Metro Atlanta area because that's where all my family is. That's where I'm from. We have baby number two coming. We're going to be outnumbered, so it just made sense. So literally 2 weeks, we had our house on the market.
Wow.
The next month, we were moved up here. I had my daughter 2 or 3 months later because I moved when I was like 8 months pregnant. And while I was on maternity leave, I finished up my licensing course and we just hit the ground running. My ultimate goal was to not go back to work. I said, if I could, because this is when the market was booming. So I said, if I could get a deal before I go back to work, I'm not going back. But
You
that
were
didn't
really
happen.
trying to get out of there.
I was trying so hard, but that didn't happen. I went back to work and I was doing it part time,
Okay.
and I did it for another year, almost a year to the day. I made my last day at the company April 1st, 2022,
Wow.
and ever since then I've been full time.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you're here. And what I love is that so for anyone who's watching, anyone who's like, hey, I want to become a real estate practitioner, or this is resonating to you, like, just know that you gotta listen to, that voice,
Hmm.
and you gotta go for it. And then also just know that like the skill set that you develop at your corporate job, that's a
Hmm.
lot of skill set that it's gonna transfer over to your real estate business. And so
Yeah,
you are a little bit more prepared than what you are giving yourself credit for,
yeah,
but you don't know until you know, until those
exactly. You
things
you
kick
really
in.
don't, and so because of that, like if I would have never gone through that, or if I would have did it out of that order, I don't know if I would have had the same experience. Well, I definitely wouldn't have had the same experience.
Yeah.
Because if I would have done it when I originally wanted to do it, I would be selling real estate in Savannah
Yeah.
and probably wouldn't have made the transition up here, or maybe, I don't know. And then, who knows if I would have even connected with you and the
Yeah.
Wolfpack. Like,
Right.
so I
Exactly.
feel like everything did happen for a reason. And by the time I did leave, I had like almost double in my 401k than I had originally because the market just went up during COVID.
It did.
And so it did allow me when I left the job to have a really good solid cushion.
Okay. So
Hmm.
that helps too, because
Yeah.
um in real estate, you don't know unless you kind of walk into an operation already, like say for instance, you got family who's in real estate and you kind of just
Hmm.
walk
Or
in,
team.
you're gonna need to have some cushion. You
Yeah.
gotta be able to fund your business to be able to operate efficiently. So,
Yeah.
if you're thinking about, hey, I wanna become full time in real estate and I don't want to keep being a dual career, then you definitely need to have some money or tap into your
Hmm.
savings and 401k so you can feel comfortable and confident and really, taking classes, CE
Yeah.
classes, paying for
Licensing
coaching or
and yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
all of the
Mhm.
things. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yep, it definitely worked out.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so glad too. So
Here we
tell me,
are.
and here we are. Tell me about so when you got into real estate, when you were trying to find the brokerage, tell me what that looked like for you, because I know a lot of people are lucky enough to have internet to be able to go online and do some research and try to identify who do I want to align with. But what was that process like for you? How did you come upon EXP and the Wolfpack?
So I started researching while I was studying for my license, like which brokerage I would want to be with.
That was
And I knew
smart.
because of the job that I had, it was going to have to be something that wouldn't require a lot of office time because my schedule was ran at random, but it was a minimum 50 hours a week.
Okay.
And so I didn't have a set schedule. And so I couldn't dedicate myself to like an office environment where you had to have floor time or
Mm-hmm.
where you had to be there for certain meetings. I couldn't do that. And so off the top of my head, I just knew EXP from what I've heard, the cloud-based brokerage setting might be
Yeah.
a contender for me.
Mm-hmm.
And was also looking at, how I wanted to lead generate. And
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at two options. One option was cold calling, which I did do. But another option was social media and YouTube. And
Mm-hmm.
so it started out when we were looking at houses to move back to Atlanta. We were on
Okay.
YouTube and I found this agent and I showed my husband, oh, I love this house. And he was like, wait a minute. She's an agent. She's posting these videos online. She probably gets a ton of calls. I said, no, she doesn't. He was like, yes, I promise you. Like this is what you need to do. You need to start a YouTube channel when you get your license. You need to show houses and this is going to be your strategy. I said that is not going to work. Nobody just calls a random agent online like from a YouTube video. I didn't get it. He did
Right.
because he's first of all, he's a business owner. He's an entrepreneur. He has a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So he already knew.
He knew. Yeah.
I was in denial. I didn't know. I'm coming from, Kroger. All I
Right.
know
The
is
corporate.
grocery,
Yeah.
I know
That
nothing
corporate
about starting a
space.
business. And
Yeah.
so when I was doing my research, because he was just like, this is what we're gonna do, I was like, okay. And I came across Mike Sherrard's page because I probably typed in something like YouTube for realtors or something like that after that
Yeah.
conversation. I
Mm-hmm.
came across Mike's page and I was like, wow, he's saying exactly what my husband's saying. Maybe there is
Right.
something to
Hmm.
it.
Interesting.
So I was just watching his videos, and this is like months leading up to it. I'm watching him, and I'm watching another guy that is talking about cold calling. And I was like, I could do both because you have to have different pillars of leads in real estate. And I knew that starting a YouTube channel, getting leads might take a little bit longer, and I could supplement that in the meantime by cold calling. So I did decide to go with EXP through that channel from YouTube
Yeah.
because it aligned with what I wanted. And then
Yep.
not just EXP. Actually, at that point, I take that back. At that point, I knew I was going with EXP. So I was trying to figure out who I was going to sign under because I knew some people personally at EXP. But when I saw Mike and, I've been listening to him and listened to the value proposition that he had, I'm
Yeah.
like, well, even though I know these people, they're not giving me any value. They're all in different states, but I was going to not have any value, other than the fact that I knew them.
Yep.
So, and when he said all his stuff was free and it wasn't
Okay.
like an additional split or anything like that, I said, okay, that's the one. So I hopped on the phone, with him, joined, and like the rest is
Is
history.
that's the same thing for me. Well, when I joined EXP, I was already had been in real estate for a very long time. I had my own brokerage, but I actually was able to identify what I wanted to do and what I needed. And that's
Hmm.
important for agents to do. New agents, seasoned agents. What do you want? Because really, honestly, there's a brokerage for everybody. So if you're
Yeah,
saying I want to be in a space where I want to go into the office and be, have to do that, and
there's a brokerage for
there's a
you.
broker for that.
Hmm.
Yeah, so if you want to be in a space where they teaching you the modern way of marketing yourself and things like that, there's a space for you for that. So
Hmm.
I knew I wanted the same thing. Like I had been marketing myself a certain way for years,
Hmm.
and but it wasn't getting me. I hit a plateau, and I'm like, it's got to be better than this.
Yeah.
So, and it's better than this because I decided, hey, I want to do something different. I know it's going to be difficult and interesting and new. I ain't never done it before, but I want to do it. And so that's when I found, Mike as well. I'm like, yeah, I gotta like,
I'm like,
I'm gonna do this because
yeah.
I had been paying people. I have been paying people to show me how to do Facebook, paying people to show me how to do this and how to do that.
And
When
it
I
was
can get it,
free for him.
and I can get it all here. And so I knew that was value. I'm like, oh, wait, because I asked him, I said, how much is that? I had an attitude. Like, and how much is that? He's like, oh, it's free by virtue of you being part of our group. And I was like, oh, so yeah. So I get you with that. I love that when we first met and you were talking about your husband, and before I met him, I thought that he was so fascinating because for one, he really supported you.
Mm-hmm.
And he understood because when you mentioned that he had his YouTube channel, I looked it up and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
dang, I'm like, wow, that's incredible to have a husband that's so supportive and things. And then I met him and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh man, like this is so good. So let's talk to the agents who are, in a relationship, in a partnership, in a marriage. Let's talk to them about how important it is about collaborating with. And even though John is not a licensee, he understands entrepreneurship. So he's not
Mm-hmm.
a licensee for anyone who's listening. But he's an entrepreneur. He understands, and he had lots of experience. So let's talk to the people about that. Like you're living with somebody, you're dating somebody, you're married to someone, and how that looks for like how do you manage that, Marty?
Well, it's a little difficult. I wouldn't recommend it. Like if you have,
Marty said it's difficult and she will
I would recommend it. 10 out of 10. Don't recommend it. Unless you can get on the same page. And sometimes you think you're
Yes.
on the same page, but you're not even in the same book. So it's a mirror to that relationship. And I do
Mm.
think that it's important that you know that going in, that it could
Yeah.
change the whole dynamic.
Mm.
It could, you know, bring up issues that wasn't even there. You can get
Mm.
called out on a lot of stuff, especially if you're dealing with someone who knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I only bring the real estate side, but everything else, he's like, I know this. And sometimes he has like an unconventional point of view from the real estate point of view because he's not in there. And I'm always like, no, you can't do that. This is real estate. He's like, see, you got to think outside the box because that's what other agents are saying, exactly what you're saying.
Mm.
And they're getting these kind of results. But if you want to get different results or increase whatever, you got to think outside the box. Like you're not in real estate, but you're just in marketing or, just in general.
Okay. Yeah.
So even down to like open houses and I'll promote that and all this stuff. And so, unless you like I said, you have to be on the same page about everything. It could be
Yeah.
really good. But sometimes it is easier like to just have a relationship where you pay someone and that's it.
Mm.
You just have a business relationship and that's it. Cause you can do whatever you
Yeah.
want to do then.
Because you
But
got to, because to me, it sounds like you're saying y'all have to be, first of all, you got to understand that communication is key and talking
mhm.
about it basically. And then to understand that even when you talk about it, it won't be the easiest conversation to have
Yeah.
because we're talking about the livelihood, the business, the family, and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So
it
you
is
got
a
to,
business too.
yeah.
So then you have all the other things that come with the business, like
Hmm.
bank accounts and budgets and taxes
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it just adds on. So I just say it takes like certain types of people to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I think you got to
Um,
learn through that too, because
yeah. Hmm.
you, as agents, we are very like, we know what we know and we are very adamant about it. And so when you're telling me to move differently, and I'm like, but I'm
You
definitely
don't
gonna do it this way.
understand.
It's like, because I'm like, who are you talking to? Like, I already know,
Yeah,
a little sassy, a
exactly.
little sassy.
You don't
But
even know. You're not a realtor. You ain't
but
licensed. I can't do that.
okay,
And you
but
would
it
know if
can
you got your
work.
license. I'm trying to get him to get his license. He doesn't want to do it. I'm like, just get it so you can understand. Just get
Right. Take the
it. He doesn't want
coursework and then you'll see. Yeah. Yeah.
to.
But I think that a lot of people, so I know of people who have been in the industry, been in real estate, and they're married. And so, and even, well, I'll use my mom for an example. My
Hmm.
dad, he, 9 to 5, my mom had 9 to 5 too, but she eventually came into real estate and doing it full time. And so trying to get my dad to understand and stuff was just, it's always been challenged until he became an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And so it's like, that's where it gets tough because it's like, I am working right now. It doesn't look like I'm working because it's not labors. I'm not lifting things. I'm not, but I'm dealing with people. That takes a lot of energy to deal with human beings who are so
Yeah.
different, and having to switch gears depending on which conversation to be had. Even if I'm having a rough moment, I have to quickly snap into it. So it's
Yeah.
so you have to have, for anyone who has a significant other, a spouse, in your life, and you're getting ready to pursue this, and they're not in the industry, like, just know that it's, prepare for that, right? It can work because my mom and dad are still, married, and stuff like that. So you're still, but it just takes communication and understanding and stuff like that. But you can do it, and
Yep.
so yeah, yeah.
It's
So
and I know a lot of people think it's free or whatever, but I still have to pay them.
yeah,
So
my
you,
mom paid my mom paid my dad. Like, she's like, oh, can you check this house? Because we did a lot of REOs, a lot of bank owned listings.
yeah.
So he would go and check the house, inspect the house for us. So we call him the field service manager. So he was on payroll. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he go change locks. We're gonna pay him
Mm-hmm.
because you gotta be moving like a business. It's a business, and you gotta respect people's time, no matter if it's your husband or your wife, or your respect their time. You got to pay them, keep it as
Yep.
bit. And so it can get, so it's gotten tricky. I mean, I had the front row seat to my parents' marriage, so it wasn't like, oh, we're just skipping down the street, praise the Lord. No, it was a piece of work, but they got through it. And I think after every scenario, every situation, it just made more of an understanding. So it got better and better over the years, to the point where sometimes it was kind of like, we didn't got to talk about it. Like, we know what time it is, and
You
stuff like
already
that.
know.
But my parents are in their 70s. So I'm talking about a long spread of them working together and understanding and respecting each other and paying one another, um, paying my father what he deserves and stuff like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it's interesting. So everyone, just take heed. Like I said earlier, take some notes, because you're hearing it from people who are really doing the business. And that's why I love Marty so much, because we have these conversations literally daily about
Mm-hmm.
the ins and outs of real estate, trying to figure out a solution. And so it's important that, when you begin real estate, to let everyone know in your family, like, I'm about to start doing this, so they can understand, like, you about to be moving differently now. This is
Yeah.
not going to be the same. This is not the same Marty that was with Kroger. This is a new Marty, the
Trying to
brand new Marty.
get the new one.
So, Marty, you have children. You're a mother too. So you're a wife, you're a mother,
Mm-hmm.
you're a friend, you're a daughter. um, let's talk about that. How do you prioritize what's important? Because you, first of all, y'all, Marty did incredibly well last year. This is 2026. So in 2025, she did incredibly well. And she has two beautiful children, a husband. We just talked about him. But it's not always easy. But how do you prioritize the baby? Because I know how you do, but I want you to share how you do that to, the viewers.
So, like I said before, it comes down to like a village and people being supportive. And
Mm-hmm.
a big part of that is my husband. And then the other big part of that is my mom.
Mm.
And so she, we bought a house around the corner from her, so not too far away.
Yep. Very good.
And it's getting a little easier now because this is going on year 5 that I got into real estate. My daughter is turning 5. And so I, it was when they're little, not in school, was more difficult at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're in school, it's a little better. Okay, my
Mm.
mom used to
Okay.
be really hands-on, and now she's like, pick them up from school. So we have a schedule where, 4 days out of the week she picks them up from school, and she watches them for me on one of the weekend days, like Saturday or Sunday.
Okay.
And yeah, that's how we get
Yeah.
that's how we get by. I mean, my husband drops one of them off, I drop the other one off. And then I start working usually around 9:30, and then I'm working up until 6-ish
Okay.
when I have to pick them up again. Sometimes I go over a lot. So like 6:30.
Yeah.
And then yeah, that's like the flow that we've had And like I said, it's gotten easier since they've been in school.
Yeah.
So we still do their extracurricular activities. So I take them to those,
Yeah.
and I try to be as present as I can. And I get distracted a lot. So it is hard when they're around. I'm like always on my phone.
Yeah.
One of
Yeah.
my goals that I have to put the phone down, and because like honestly, it's not like always work. Sometimes it is work, and sometimes it's not. So I think that's a lot of parents in
Yeah.
general want to be more present with their kids. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we really have our little thing now. Like something like there'll be some things that throws us off. Like this week we got winter break, and my
Mhm.
son's sick. So my daughter's been at my mom's house all week. My son's been home sick with the flu all week,
Ah,
and he's getting better, but it's just like, what you gonna
yeah.
do?
Well, I
So I
know I
haven't,
raised my
haven't,
daughter in the business. Like when I got started in the business, I was pregnant with her. Like when I got
hmm
licensed, I was so um
She was born
raising
into
her.
it.
She's literally like I was nursing her and showing houses.
Sounds like
Like
somebody I know
yes.
with my
So
youngest. Yep.
just committed to being a mother and committed to the business and making sure my clients understood that like I'm committed to you, but I have a child, I'm committed to my child as well, and meet Aria, type of thing. And so
hmm
um my clients knew that this is a mother,
Yeah.
your mother,
She's a
and stuff
mama.
like that. But I had my parents. Again, I had my support system too. So it's really about letting everyone around know this is what we're doing here, and being clear about what you need from them and the kind of support that you need. And that support changes because, like you said, the kids have gotten older. So what's required is different as a
hmm
parent now. So just you're always evolving, but you got to put stuff on the calendar. You got to know what your day is going to look like. You got to kind of have
Yeah.
it, you got to have something in place like, okay, I'm going to work from this time to that time. Even though you can be as flexible as you want to, you still need to have these things in place because you will go over. That's
Yeah.
life. Clients are different, situations are different, whatever. Your day
Gotta do a
changes.
last minute offer. Something
Yeah.
crazy always happens.
But you at least have this in place. This is how it's going to look. We're going to work within this. If we have to go over, no biggie, no sweat. I may have a short day.
hmm
So, yeah, but I love that because the reality is if you love people, if you can put other people's interests before yours, if you can see things ahead of time and kind of visualize things, like you could be a real estate practitioner and do very well. But you got to
hmm
care about others too. And you got to keep the important things at the forefront as well, because then if you don't, you're going to lose yourself. So
Yeah.
like you can do it. You can be a real estate practitioner, have really great success that you never thought you could ever even imagine. You could do that, but you got to be realistic. And I think that this conversation is going to really help a lot of people, women especially, who want to get into the business and they're like overthinking
Yep.
about stuff. You'll be
That
fine.
happens a lot.
Just like we're giving you, I think what you're gonna receive, you're gonna walk away from this interview and realize, wow, like, I can pull it off.
I can do that.
Yeah,
And
I can totally do it.
that's really important knowing that or just seeing somebody else do it, you
Yeah,
know, and knowing that you can do it too. I think that goes a long way.
yeah, it does. It does. So when it comes to your connecting with clients, I mean, like I just mentioned, you gotta like people
hmm
in order to do this. But you have a really special way of connecting with your clients. I guess because I know when we met, I was like immediately I liked you because it just seemed like you were so real and you were so unapologetic about it. And it because I think sometimes you know it could a real estate practitioner could come across as being kind of like this uh, I don't know, just unreal, like just not authentic. And so
hmm
when I met you, I'm like, oh, now wait a minute here. This is refreshing. I like this because it's like I was meeting myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but how do you do that? Like how are you so able to connect with your clients and win them over? What is it? What do you think it is?
I think part of it is just figuring out who your ideal client is and
Mm,
finding like people that you really or attracting, I should say that,
mm,
attracting
attracting.
people that you actually want to work with. So it is easier to
Yes.
work with them and build a connection with them.
Yep.
And it's something I'm like always actively working through.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And just, I think I was talking about this on one of our calls or something like that, but just kind of getting out of scarcity mindset where you feel like you have to take every client because
Yes.
they're a qualified buyer or
Yeah.
seller,
Uh-huh.
but really they don't really add to your life, or I guess most importantly, they take away like from
Mm.
your experience or the life
Yes.
that you're trying to live because they're like difficult to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and not because, they have needs that need to be met. I'm just like demanding and
Yeah.
unrealistic about how they speak to you or their demands for you that don't really align with what, your business model is. And so I'm trying to get very clear on that this year
Good.
because I've been through some things.
Some
I've been
things.
through some situations. I'm like, this
Again,
is
Marty and
not
I have
working.
these conversations all the time. So it's like, I already know what she's talking about. I already
Mm-hmm.
know you got, and get you a friend in the real estate business too, because
Mm.
it's not going to be fun doing this stuff by yourself. And if you can't have somebody you can share stuff with and they understand, like when Marty tells me stuff, I'm like, I totally get it. I tell her stuff, she totally gets it. But
And
that's
that's
true.
harder. That's easier said than done because there's not a lot of people
Yeah.
that want to be friends with you because they see you as
Yeah.
competition.
Yeah.
So it works out for us. But yeah, I think that the main thing is my connection comes from just,
Hmm.
besides, there's been a couple of bad eggs like people that I work with. I can count on two fingers how many
Yeah.
clients that I'm like, I'm never working with them again.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I can't, like, because it
Out
doesn't
of
serve me well to
so
work with them.
yes, yes. So it's just and all the content that I put out, it's going to the right person.
Mm.
And I just learned like this week, somebody said you can never say the wrong thing to the right client. Meaning like
Wow.
you can just be yourself, you know?
And it's so refreshing to be able to just be yourself. Because I know for
Hmm.
me, I for
I'm
a
not my
long
full self,
time,
but I'm enough of myself, my
yeah,
professional
right,
self.
yeah, yeah.
Because they
Because
might
I
be like,
mean,
oh girl, bye.
yeah, they don't want to see
They don't want to see.
the, you know,
They're like, she
all of
might be
that.
a little too much for
Yeah,
us.
they don't want to see all of that. And if you think about it, as when you're out doing something and when you hire an attorney or you hire a doctor, you don't want your doctor
Mhm.
coming in, two stepping into the and carrying
You're like,
on.
nah, I need to find somebody else.
Yeah, you want someone who's serious. We talking about my diagnosis or whatever, like procedure. I don't want you carrying on now, doctor. So yeah, but I feel like that too. I feel like I had to find myself because when I started in the business, I was so young and I didn't know what to be. I was
Mm,
just young. I was like 20 or something.
yeah,
I was just really young and I didn't even know who I was yet. So it took
right.
me years to figure out um who is Shonnie as a real estate practitioner? Like I know who
Hmm.
Shonnie is in general, but who am I as a real estate practitioner? How do I want to be seen and respected? And I got my groove now. I mean, I'm in my 40s now, so I got my groove now. But I had to
You had to
identify
find
that
your way
thing.
there.
Yeah, and then how do I present this to my audience? And so that's what you said was so powerful because be who you are, understand who you are, and then know
Hmm.
that you're going to attract that. So if you're a person that's disorganized, a person that you're always fumbling, you're not ever prepared, you're going to have clients like that.
Hmm. So, and you do have to change, I guess, have some of those like soft skills and things that are required of you that just should be like standard. Like you do have to be organized. You do have to
Yeah,
know how to explain things to people. So you can't just come in like I'm myself and I'm not gonna,
yeah,
change and whoever. And you do have to like um, be a business owner and a CEO of your company. And
yeah.
but as far as personality, I think that is important that we show it. And I had a hard time trying to figure out how to show that across the screen without me
Mm,
like, I can show in person, it's easy. Across the screen, I don't want nobody to get the wrong idea
yeah,
or offend anybody. So I'm a little bit more reserved. And it took me a long time to like figure out how do I put my personality out there without trying to make it seem like I'm, I won't say crazy, but
Yeah. And you got
whatever.
to figure it out. Like
Fill in the
this is
blank.
part of fill in the blank. And I think this
Hmm.
is part of being a business person. Like you got to know how to do this. So you need to sit down, or if you got to write it out, or do a voice note for yourself, figure out what are you trying to convey here, because once
Yep.
you put it out there, people are going to perceive it, but you have control over that. You have
Yep.
full creative control over how you want to be interpreted on camera. And so, and then when you do that, then you'll see, because the kind of clients that I attract now, from my channel,
Hmm.
is so good. They're such lovely people. They are realistic people. They know
Yeah.
what they want to do. Um, and so they know what they need. They can communicate that very well and things like that. They have their affairs in order. Now, I do have some people who don't fit that. And then I'm able to kind of figure out, how do I brace myself to work with them? Am I going to work with them? Type of thing.
Yeah.
So it makes me feel like I have control over my business when I'm able to do that too, because it's like, this is gonna not be well. This is gonna not be well if I deal with them. Like, let me brace myself for this if I choose to. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I agree.
before we wrap up, I want to um, ask you to share, if you want to share anything with the person who's watching this now, if you want to leave them with something lasting, um, at all, any last remarks?
At all, anything. I would say, especially if you're a newer agent and you're trying to figure out like how to navigate the industry, connect with someone that you like, that you
Mhm.
can see yourself getting along with well. Like even outside of real estate, like you could connect with that person and
Yeah.
somebody you would normally be friends with. Um, or just someone who has a lot of experience and they don't want to gatekeep, they don't mind teaching you, and that is easier said than done, but I think that is a big key, like have your real estate family.
Mhm.
And then the other part is work on yourself and remember that it's a business and you have to take your brain out of scarcity mode and flight or fight
Woo-hoo.
mode and just put it into CEO mode when it
Wow.
comes to the structuring and thinking long term, because
Yeah.
this is can be a very lucrative career, but you don't want it to be like this, like the up and
Yeah.
downs. You have to have a high business acumen to make sure that you take care of yourself
Mhm.
and your family and
Mm.
you do it for the long term, so you keep that big picture in mind. So
That's
that's my
good.
biggest advice.
That's good. That's good. So listen, so you
In
agents
other
that
words,
are,
don't spend all your money.
oh yeah,
I think that's really what I wanted to say.
you better budget. You better
Budget.
you better say, you know what, I want that so bad. And you can say I want it, and you better not hit that button. You better not purchase it.
Yep.
You better
That's my
not purchase
biggest lesson. I don't spend your money on everything. Try to have your business overhead as low as possible. Do all the free things first before you start giving out your money to
it. Yes.
people who say they're going to help you go from here to here.
That's it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Marty and I, we work together. We have agents that have joined our group. Um, I'll be the sponsor. See, in EXP, we have where when you join EXP, you're going to join a sponsor, and we also have co-sponsorship opportunities. So Marty and I, we do that. If she sponsors an agent and she's attracted them to EXP, I'll be the co-sponsor and vice versa. And we do that
Hmm.
because we realize that she and I really are a great team, and we have a lot to offer. And so we want to see our agents win, right? We want to offer you things. We want to be there for you. So if
Yeah.
you're not on track for your goals, maybe your goal is to hit in your year, this year of real estate, we're here to help you with that. We're here to help you figure out how to navigate your business properly. We're going to show you how to fish, right? So that you can be
Yep.
really efficient in what you do in your business. So go ahead and book a call with me. And then we'll talk more about it. You can book a call with Marty. We'll have her information down below. And she and I are so excited to assist you. Like, we know it can happen. It's happened in our lives, and we know that it can happen for you. So thank you
Hmm.
so much for being here, Marty. Thank you,
You're
girl.
welcome. Thank you again for having me. I'm always happy to come on.
Yes, yes. All right. So y'all go ahead and have a great rest of your day. See y'all.
Bye.